What does the scripture tell us to do? Expel the slave mother with her son. This is what the scripture tells us to do. Expel. Matt referenced this a little while ago talking about Hagar. Expel the slave mother with her son. Let's go to Genesis 21, which is where that story is actually found. And let's read through a few verses here because I want to establish some things in the scripture so that we can jump back in. Again, Galatians 4:30 is referencing this idea that you and I are supposed to follow the pattern of Abraham and Sarah, which is to expel that came as a consequence of being intimate with Sinai. Okay? Intimate with Sinai. Sarah represents grace and the promise. Hagar represents Mount Sinai, represents the law and bondage. One is called a slave woman, one is called a free woman. It's a very clear picture. Genesis chapter 21, I think I'll begin reading, well, I'm only going to read 10 verses, so let me just read all of them. Starting in verse 1, Genesis 21:1, and the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son who was born unto him, whom Sarah bore to him, Isaac. Then Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, as God had commanded him. Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. And Sarah said, God has made me laugh, and all who hear me will laugh with me. God has made me laugh, and all who hear me will laugh with me. Let me read it again. God has made me laugh, and all who hear me will laugh with me. She also said, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? For I have borne him a son in his old age. So the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast on the same day Isaac was weaned. Isaac is weaned. On the same day that Isaac is weaned, Abraham makes a great feast. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, whom she had borne to Abraham, scoffing. Therefore she said to Abraham, cast out this bondwoman. Hello, Galatians 4. Cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, namely with Isaac. All right, so here's the picture. Here's the picture. Just I'm going to assume you know nothing. So I'm going to help you by saying Abraham receives the promise that he's going to be the father of many nations. He believes that promise is going to be fulfilled through Sarah until delay. And when delay comes, dangerous paradigms start to manifest.